Hey guys, what's going on today? Quick little video. Gonna do it outside. It's nice outside today. I want to talk about an off-duty cop, a 13-year-old kid, and a negligent discharge. You guys probably know exactly what I'm talking about. Probably seen the video. If you haven't, go check it out. But watch the full version. Don't watch the little minute and a half version, the edited version. Watch the full version to really kind of get a feel for what's going on. But basically, what we have here is an off-duty cop was in his own neighborhood, and he got into a bit of a scuffle with a 13-year-old kid. A little bit of a tug of war. Some other kids around him, they didn't like what was going on. They were trying to separate the two, and it ended up with the off-duty cop having a negligent discharge right by the 13-year-old kid's head. That's essentially what happened. Now, as far as how this all started, we don't exactly know because nobody turned on a camera until once things got really heated, but there are a few things that both parties agree on. One, that this officer had been having problems with kids walking through his yard. He was very vocal about it, yelling at kids, had been talking to neighbors about it. Two, that a young teenage girl coming home from school walked through his yard. He went out to confront her. And three, that this 13-year-old kid, for whatever reason, decided to get between the girl and the cop. I don't know if he thought he was defending her honor, maybe he had a crush on her. I have no idea. He's a 13-year-old kid. Who knows what's going on in his head? As far as what they don't agree on, the cop says that the kid told him he was going to shoot him. Now, the kid, of course, says, no, I didn't say that. I said my stepdad's a cop, which his stepdad is a cop. He said, his stepdad's a cop, I'm going to sue you. They don't agree on that, obviously. And the other thing they don't agree on is the girl and the 13-year-old kid and all the other kids around say the cop came out very aggressively, got very aggressive with the girl, called her a cunt, and that's why the 13-year-old kid thought he needed to step up and get between the two of them because he was worried about her. Of course, the cop says he wasn't being aggressive, he wasn't being angry, he was just very nicely asking her to get off of his lawn, and he never called her a cunt. Now, of course, that spiraled into who knows what happened. By the time the camera comes on, the cop's got the kid by the shirt, won't let go of him, is dragging him through a couple of front yards, it looks like, in front of some neighbors' houses. Maybe one of them was his, I don't know. About 10 other kids around at one point. They try to separate them. They're grabbing the cop, the off-duty cop. They're grabbing the kid. They're grabbing the cop's hand that won't let go of the kid's shirt. They're trying to separate them. Much like we used to do in school when two kids would fight, you try to separate them. At one point, the kid does push the cop to try and get him to let go of his shirt. That didn't work. They say that's assault. Okay, well, he did push him. Although what was the cop doing the whole time? I don't know. The whole time the cop does not say you're under arrest. He doesn't say I'm detaining you. Nothing. He simply will not let the kid go, and he's dragging him around. At one point, all the kids get together and really try and separate the two. The cop falls in the bushes but doesn't let go of the kid, and then begins to drag the kid over the top of the bushes whilst he unholsters his gun, and then it goes off right next to the kid's head. Then at that point, all the other kids run away. The camera turns off. We don't know what happens after that. Now, I want you to put yourselves in the shoes of this off-duty officer. But you're not an off-duty officer. You're a plumber or a lawyer or a mechanic or whatever you are. You decide that the best way to handle a teenage girl walking through your yard when you don't want them to is to go outside with your gun holstered and begin to, on whatever level he did, harass her and chew into her ass a bit, I'm sure. Then another kid steps up, doesn't like the way you're yelling at her, and you decide, while still having a gun holstered, you decide that this 13-year-old kid needs to be dragged across a few yards, and it all ends up with a negligent discharge next to this kid's head. If you did that, if I did that, guess what happens next? That's right, we're going to jail, okay? This cop didn't go to jail. In fact, the kid went to jail for assault, although he was very quickly released. The cop got put on administrative leave with pay, and that's where we sit now. Now, in my opinion, this from the very beginning was the cop's fault. He should have been the adult in this situation. He shouldn't have brought a gun to any sort of scenario that involved kids, in my opinion. This was completely 100% his fault. He should be held to a level of responsibility above what we should be held to. I mean, I can't tell you how many classes I've been to, whether it was my concealed carry license class or some of the defensive pistol classes I've been to, where they drill into you. The minute you walk outside with your gun, you are you are taking on a responsibility and, depending on the situation, liability. Even if you find yourself in a bad situation and you don't unholster that gun, the fact that it's there can get you into more trouble, and you need to be more responsible than you would if you didn't have a gun. And this is a police officer, off duty or not. He should be held to an even higher standard than the rest of us, since he's a civil servant and getting paid by the taxes that come from the rest of us. This was 100% his fault in every way, shape, and form. He needs to be punished accordingly. He needs to be brought up on charges for endangerment of a minor, because that's exactly what any of us would have been charged with if we found ourselves in this same situation. So that's how I feel about it. I know some of you guys are going to differ in opinion, but try to keep the comments civil, please. That's all I'll ask. But I'd love to hear what you guys think about all this. So let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, I appreciate you guys watching.